Welcome to another episode of Zero Ales and Hockey Tales with Wally. And today I'm so excited to have on a 38-year-old from the Sheds Honey Hole, Cardiff, Wales. His hockey journey has taken him to Wales, England, and the USA. He returns to the Shed a legend and a Matthew Myers testimonial champion with yours truly. Since then, he had another testimonial and hoisted the trophy again with the Nottingham Panthers. He has won more trophies than anyone ever, with 7 Challenge Cups, 7 playoffs, 3 league titles, and 1 Grand Slam. Oh, and he wrote the Disney script with the Team GB fellas, winning back-to-back golds when they vaulted to the top pool in the world. And he is now the captain of those pesky Panthers and owns the coolest van in hockey. Welcome to my kitchen, Matthew Myers.
Ollie, what's up?
Nice to see you again, sir.
I see you too. Nice to see you using the kitchen today.
Yeah, kids, freezing rain they called for today. So today the kids are off again.
Nice, 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 nice.
So good stuff. They're not distracting at all. Zoe's not doing gymnastics right now at all, right behind the computer. So I get how we know each other. Last time I saw you, we were at the airport.
Oh, we were at the airport. Yeah, I was going to say testimonial, but yeah, just at the airport. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
gone by quickly. Eh? That was probably 6 months ago now.
I know time flies, man.
Crazy, it's
And now
absolutely
Batchy's going to
crazy.
be having a testimonial. But yeah, we went to the airport together, and you were flying on a vacation, and I was heading back home.
Home,
Tucker
we
and I,
went to Madrid. Yeah, we went to Madrid. Nairi and I, we met up with friends from Nottingham over there, and that
Laco,
was a really
right?
good time. Laco and Jamie, their partners, and another girl, Gemma. There was 7 of us who went. It was good fun. We went for a music festival. It's good stuff.
Yeah, and I saw some pictures of you guys down there, and I thought it was really cool when you were wearing your 2 L's and Hockey Tales hat in Madrid, right?
Madrid, yeah, it's cool.
So you're
Sick.
like my marketing team.
I do.
Yeah. What are those people called? You're like an influencer.
I wouldn't say I'm an influencer. No, um, you're you're
um,
you're you're what they call a bad influencer.
I just try to orchestrate fun. That's all I try to do. But your testimonial, you organized the fun, and that was fun, eh?
That was good fun. Yeah, we had a great time. It's a shame because it was short, but we had, what did we have? 2, maybe 3 days? Yeah, we had 3 days of it.
Well, we had the Thursday night at your house where I stayed
We had
over,
the
and we
Thursday
built
night
we built the trophy.
trophy. Then we had the Friday night with with most of the people in town.
Yep,
Then we had
ran
Saturday night at
amok.
the game. Yeah, and then you and I obviously we had the Sunday with Nairi up at when we drove to London there. So yeah, we had a good time for
Yeah,
for for,
it's
for the days or
busy.
so.
My goodness, but
Yeah,
now
it
I
was
get to do
hectic.
that with Batchy, eh? Did you know that
Yeah,
I'm coming back?
yes. Have you been announced?
I have. Yeah, Batchy announced it in the shed.
Ah, there we go. There we
It was
go.
fun, and
Yeah, that's good.
he also announced that Marshy's coming back and Chris Blight, and we need flights. So I'm having a raffle. Deese was not lucky or nice enough, sorry, to give us a signed Gratz 99ers jersey. And all the money raised is going to go to our flights. So Batchy doesn't have to pay for our flights, folks. So get involved. I don't know who else he's offering up a flight for. I heard one guy's playing hard to get. Right. So I'm not going to name names, but hopefully he can come. He's from the Toronto area.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, so a
Who is it?
Gratz
Mitch
99ers
Mitch
jersey
Mitch
is
Marner, is it?
no, no, I don't know. This guy is retired now. And up, yeah, that's all I'll say. He's not a hockey player anymore, but he has scored a big goal in Devils history. But he's playing hard to get, so can't say much else.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
But Gratz 99ers jersey is at aleshockeytales.com, folks, and buy some raffle tickets, please, so Batchy doesn't have to pay for our flights, right?
That's nice. That's nice of Dees as well to chip
Re-
in there. That's great.
Really
And,
nice of these
and
people
obviously,
helping
and
people.
obviously, yeah, and obviously, Gratz helping out too. I mean, they don't know Batchy at all, so that's awesome.
Right.
Really
And
nice.
speaking of jerseys being raffled, you didn't have a raffle, you had auctions, eh? At your first testimonial. I couldn't believe how much people shelled out for jerseys after that game.
Yeah,
Bounties
I
went for
know.
like a lot.
700, I think it was, yeah, or something like that. Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, the jerseys were sick, to be fair. Thanks to Stu Bob.
They were great.
So Stu, as you know, Stu designed them, and Rhino made them for me. Sean Smith up in Sheffield. They were class jerseys, but yeah, the fans really enjoyed them. I think they just had a nice night, and some
It was a fun night
jerseys
for
will not
everybody.
be well. They're not going to be available, right? So they wanted to get their hands on something which was fairly unique. So yeah, it was good. Like I say, it was good fun. Everybody in the bar had a good time. It was nice to do something in the summer where most people, that we wanted. I think everybody that I wanted to be there was there.
And everybody
So
could let their hair down because it was
exactly,
the off
yeah,
season.
yeah, exactly, yeah. And we had a great night.
It was very well planned. And I know Nairi helped you a lot with the planning too, right? Because I couldn't believe how much you guys had to do to put that night on. When I showed up, the jerseys came, we turned those boxes into the trophy, but you guys had so much going on, and you were also running a business at the same time. You were on work calls, you were organizing the testimonial. Nairi was running her business, and I was like, holy moly, these people are busy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, it's amazing like how much effort goes into organizing an event, and I didn't realize obviously how much goes into one hockey game. There is a lot to organize. The guys, like Todd and Katrina, and the guys up here, Pash, and all of our staff in Nottingham, they do it on a night in, night out basis, so they're used to it and they understand all of the things that happen. Whereas me and Nari are like deer in the headlights because we really didn't know. We didn't know if it was going to be good, bad, if we are going to make mistakes, but we didn't in the end. And like you say, we have to run our businesses at the same time. So that was busy, but no, we got through it and everybody had a good time.
Oh, I
So that
thought
was
you
the main
guys
thing.
smashed it, as they would say.
Yeah,
Like, I loved the tournament thing where I got to try and win a trophy again
yeah,
and beat Team GB.
you
No big
did.
deal, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Good
No, it
trophy.
was
So
great.
I did
Yeah.
see your next testimonial. The trophy did look awfully similar.
Awfully similar, thanks to Craig Moore. I commissioned him to make the trophy in Nottingham. But again, like I learned a lot from the testimony in Cardiff, and the trophy did make it so much better having those pictures and a little bit of a celebration. And now it's kind of a little bit like faux, if you like, but it did make for a good ten
Trophies
minutes
matter.
after the
Trophies
game.
make it better. Playing for a
Of
trophy
course it
makes
is.
things better. With my under 11 kids last year, we had pond hockey tournaments when I was coaching them, and I made a different trophy every time.
Yeah, and it's great. Yeah, it's great. So
And my
yeah,
golf
so
tournament, I
Mawsy
also
did that
made a
one.
great
Did you?
trophy too. Oh yeah, it's fantastic. Old golf
Yeah.
clubs, yeah,
Oh,
wonderful.
you showed me. Yeah, yeah, you showed me. Yeah.
Anyways, let's see here. The other time we know each other, we'll get into the testimonial more here, but is we had the GB group chat, GB royalty. That was a
Yeah,
fun one.
yeah, yeah. That was great. Yeah, really good with all the boys
Disney
from.
still has not reached out to me. I don't know what they're waiting for. Horse
I don't
manure.
know what they're waiting for. No, I know. No. Yeah, it's great. That was a nice hour with those boys. We're meeting up. We got training camp coming up in mid early February. I think we got
And is it in
training camp
Coventry
coming
every
up for
year?
that. Most of the time, yeah, because our general manager Andy is the owner of the Coventry team, so it makes sense to him. He needs to be there to operate his business, and obviously he knows a lot of contacts in the city with helping out with hotels, accommodation, food. Obviously he can use the facilities. Our physio Nikki, well, and Laura now, who's in Nottingham, is just down the road, and Nikki lives in is from Coventry. So we've got a lot of the stuff that we need in Coventry. So it works out that way. Obviously, it's not the best arena and it's not Olympic size, which isn't ideal, but it works and it's organized
How
very
long
well
do
and
you
we get the
go there
job done.
for?
I think this time it's maybe 5 days, 6 days, something like that. It's not a
Oh,
long one. It's a week camp. It's the international break of the season around across Europe. Most of the time, we don't get the opportunity to have these breaks as in Britain. France, Germany, Sweden. They all have. I say Sweden. Yeah, I guess Sweden. I don't know. All of
they
these
do. They
European
have
teams,
international
basically,
breaks. Yeah.
yeah, international breaks. We typically don't, but this year we do. That might be because we're hosting the tournament and we want to give ourselves the best chance to win gold or silver and get ourselves back up to Pool A.
Well, I could see why the UK doesn't do it because they're paying guys weekly and they're getting in the games. And but to be honest, when I was in Germany, my favorite week of the hockey season would be the start of November. You would get basically a week off of being a hockey player, and you could actually travel, see the sights, enjoy
Yeah, yeah.
Europe, enjoy just everything about it, where the rest of the season you are in the grind and you can't really do that.
Yeah, no, that's right. And the guys here, and I'm sure I know on our team, there's guys who have booked little mini breaks to somewhere, in Europe or wherever it may be, and that'll be the same for a lot. I hope most of the people around the league who are not, going to their international team, will do the same and going, for North American people who are new to, Europe, they don't
Yeah.
get the opportunity. So nip over to somewhere in Europe and see some parts of the world, which you don't often get the opportunity to do so.
Well, it's like when I look back on it, right, is the November trips that we would have. There used to be ones, I think, in February too, but the November
Yeah, there
ones, those
was.
are the most memorable trips I had. But then there's also seasons where I would miss home and I would head home right away when the season ended. And then there were other times where we do a little trip before going home. And I tell you, I couldn't recommend going on a little trip before you head home every season, because once you're home, you don't get to do that shit.
No, 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 that's right. And some of the guys on our team this year are saying like they've got friends playing in Europe, and because of the structure of the league and the playoffs is different over there, they might be finished by like early, late February, early March. And some of our guys are saying like, why do
That,
you want to go back to Canada where it's still frozen, snowing, when you could go maybe to Spain or um,
yeah.
wherever it may be, and enjoy some sun and do a little bit of traveling for a short while there.
Absolutely. And everybody needs vacations. And so you're still running your full business while you still play hockey, eh?
Yep, that was my dad just calling me then. I just had to hang up. Yeah, so yeah, I'm still running the business. Obviously, Dad and Joseph do the on-site running of the stuff, and I do everything from a computer. So that's why I have the ability to be here in Nottingham, and I've got the
Well, if it matters to
basically
you,
a
I was
home
very
office.
impressed seeing your work ethic on and off the ice. Like it was you and Piglet and some of the other fellows that like I knew you guys worked after practice and everything, right? And through my whole hockey career, not many guys were ever doing that. And it kind of changes you, right? You're like, well, if they can do it, why can't I?
Well, yeah, I mean that's right. And when you played in other countries, and especially when you're younger, you don't really don't get me wrong, I'd have loved to have had many years where I was able to make enough money and play hockey and not worry about work and those type of things. But actually, even if I made enough money, I think just because of the way I am, I would get bored
Oh yeah, I get bored too.
of not doing anything. Like we finished practice at say 12:30. It's a long day from 12:30 to when you go to bed at 10, 11 o'clock at night. Then
Yeah.
on a regular basis, day in, day out, year in, year out, to do that for a whole I even if I made, money where I didn't have to work, I would have to do something.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of guys that get right into Netflix. I was one of them. I was a lazy guy there for the start of most of my career until I got to Cardiff and I was doing the NBA, and it changed me. But
Yeah,
like, you can get good at doing nothing as a hockey player the rest of the day.
I'm sure you can. Yeah, I'm sure you
Oh,
can.
and you can walk around a lot of towns and eat crepes and stuff, right?
Well, that's the
And
thing
other
is there's
fun
only so
foods.
there's only so many coffees you can drink in a day and in a week.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And then they gotta have then you might have a beer too, right? And then that's not
then
good. You gotta stay
then
skinny.
you then you end up with a beer or two.
Yeah.
And you know what
Um,
2 beers turns to.
so where and what are you doing now? Guess you're in
Well,
Nottingham and you're the
yeah,
captain. That's cool.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean Nottingham. I was here last season. Um, and I'm still enjoying playing, love playing, and doing the same stuff as always. Like I say, here in Nottingham, playing, still running the business. Um, I'm doing a little bit of tennis with Goody's son Max. That's been fun the last few weeks. He's a really, really good tennis player. He's 9 years old and he's hitting the ball great. And I just go now and again and just help him with. I wouldn't say lessons, but I just help him hit
You're good
more
enough
more
to be a
balls.
coach.
Well, no, not really. This is the thing is I'm good enough to hit the ball back to him
You're a good
and
playing
help him.
partner.
Yeah, I'm playing partner. Yeah. So like he was asking me some technical stuff the other day, and I was like, look, I ain't the coach. I don't know the technical stuff. Let's leave that to your coach.
Yeah.
and we'll just hit balls and get better at hitting balls. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's
So
why
that's
like
been fun.
it makes me think of like goalie coaches because back in the day there weren't many goalie coaches around. It's like when I coached the little fellas and like dads will ask me about goalie stuff, and I'm like, to be honest, I don't really know how to teach that because I never really paid attention, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a very unique, specific position, isn't it? Like,
It is. And they need a
yeah,
guy that knows how to goalie. I don't know how to goalie.
yeah,
I know how to hockey.
yeah,
I don't know how to
exactly.
goalie.
Yeah, two different things.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm.
By the way, right before we got to this call, Franny out of the blue just sent me 4 pictures of Colby in the locker room in the big blue tent with all the fellas passing out the beers in his little Walton jersey. And my goodness, my heart almost exploded.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh man.
Remember that
What a time that was in that locker room.
time. Yeah, great for Colby too.
Oh yeah. He was learning how to hockey way back then, you know?
Yep,
And so when we're done this,
the proper way.
yeah, yeah, when hockey was hockey. But as soon as I'm done work today, we are off to the Silver Stick International Tournament. Colby and his
On the
team.
weekend.
Yeah, a lot of the fellas I coached last year are at their core here, and they have to win this tournament, and they are then the international Silver Stick champions. So
Oh, that's
they
sick.
got a big weekend ahead of them, you know?
Yeah, yeah, cool. Oh, that'll
Yeah.
be good fun. Well, best of luck, Colby and the boys
Yeah, but
and the
they know
girls.
what it takes. I mean, we won a couple trophies last year, and then this year that they obviously won their way to this tournament and won another one as well. And like they know how to win, and they know what it takes, and it's cool to see that. You know.
Yeah, sick. Yeah, no,
Mm-hmm.
no, and even if they don't, I mean, it is about winning at the end of the day. But
But it's
I
also
remember
about
being.
having fun and all that. But
I was
you
just
don't
gonna
want to be
say
the
at that
team
age,
done
it's
after
about
the
having
round
fun.
robin.
No, no, no. But you have to have fun, and I remember going to, taught. I wouldn't say the same type of tournaments, but tournaments as a kid, and they were amazing fun.
Oh yeah, and the parents have just as much fun too.
I'm
The
sure
kids
they
maybe
do.
don't even realize it, but the parents are having fun.
I'm sure they do.
Expensive weekends though.
Hmm.
Yeah. So you guys have had a coaching change this season, and they brought back a shed guy who won't come to my shed, Corey Nielsen.
Corey, yeah,
He's a
Corey and
beauty.
Strax. Yeah, both of them back. It's a bit bizarre. I wouldn't say bizarre. It's like
Going back in time.
yeah, a little bit like going back in time a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it is.
because
But it's
well,
nice to
having
have
that
them both around.
relationship's got to be cool that you knew the guy coming in because already having a relationship with a coach, I find is way better than not knowing the guy at all.
Yeah, I'm sure it certainly helps. It must help, yeah. But yeah, I've always enjoyed working with Corey. Worked with him since leaving Nottingham with the national team. That's been great fun. And then, like I say, coming back, it was kind of like he was always here. When I went back to Nottingham last season, it was like I'd never been away. And then when he showed up this year, Strack shows up a week later, and then you got Goody, and I'm like, oh, this is like going back in time a little bit, but it's fun. It's
Oh, it
good.
would be fun. I still like I didn't know him. And then we went out and mucked it up on the ice. And I did take the puck from him at one point, and he did turn around and he's a competitor.
Oh
he
yeah,
wanted his puck back, and I did not give it to him. But
no,
afterwards in the bar, I said, "Hey man, I'd love to have you in the shed." And literally, we talked for just a few seconds, and I was belly laughing. He is a hoot. God, he's funny.
yeah. Have you got him on? Have you
No,
managed
he
to get
said
him
he
on?
he said he will never come on. He says
Yeah.
that's his thing. He likes to be like mysterious and nobody really knows him.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd be surprised if you got him on.
His son said he'd come on.
Oh, I'm sure he would, Cade. Yeah, and
Yeah.
Logan probably. Yeah,
I only met Cade, but I bet you the
yeah,
other brother's very similar. He's a hockey guy.
yeah. Well, they're both hockey guys. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. You call them shed guys. Yeah.
yeah. You can call them shed guys when they come on the shed.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Until then. But I know who shed guys are, even if they won't come on. Are you still learning French?
Ouais, ouais, ouais.
Oh, ça va bien.
Ça va très bien.
Ah, super.
Toi?
Do you still have a lot of French teammates then?
Uh, we got two from Quebecois or Montreal, and then we got another guy who I think he said he's Toronto, but they learned French as a second language, and he speaks pretty good French. He sits next to me as well now, which is great for me because he speaks a little bit slower.
So he
So
must have done like
it's
French immersion or something.
um maybe, or just like learned French for a long time through
Yeah.
school. So
So is that Matthew Gagnon? Is he
Gan
French?
Gagnon's from Quebec or Montreal. Dubois is Quebec, Montreal, and Fab is, I believe, Toronto. But
Well,
learned
that
French,
Gags did
as a
say he
kid.
was gonna come on. We're gonna have a
Yeah,
chat.
I'll give him a nudge tomorrow. I'll give him a
Yeah,
nudge
you tell
tomorrow.
him get in my shed.
I will. I will do.
He likes to fight, right? He fights guys, right?
He does punch people, yeah, sometimes, yeah. I mean, he
Mm-hmm.
hasn't had a lot of fights this year, but it's obviously fighting's going out of the game, isn't it?
It
More and
really
more.
is.
So
Yeah. Is
yeah,
there still mucking it
it's
up and like really competing? Like sometimes the fights just happen because guys were mucking it up so hard.
yeah. I mean, even that doesn't happen as much these days. Maybe a little bit, but not very often. It's just too. I think the game's less physical as well than it used to be
Yeah.
because there's more, more skating involved now. So I'm sure it happens. I haven't seen loads and loads of it. One of our guys, Steven Anderson, had one. He put a guy in a sweet headlock earlier on in the season. So, um, but yeah, I mean, like I
Not
say,
yeah,
fighting
it's just
fighting
different,
is
eh?
is still part of the game, but it's not like it used to be. And
No.
to be honest, it's for the better. Nobody really wants to be fighting. It is dangerous. It still needs to be in the game to help sort of keep
Sort some things
people,
out.
yeah, just to keep
Or
people
even to
sort
get
of.
I've found it could be powerful to get your team going if you're flat and
Well,
whatnot.
that also, yeah, that also.
Well, I don't know. I always enjoyed it being part of the game because I never really had to do it.
Yeah, me either.
So poster picks, your the other testimonial,
Hmm.
it's pretty crazy that you've been on two teams for 10 years, man.
Yeah, it's crazy, eh?
That is crazy,
It's
right?
crazy.
And you've won gold medals and jeepers. You're having a career, man. So did you fly anyone in for the Nottingham one?
Yeah, we had David Beauregard, Guy Lepine, Matis Patrico. We were supposed to have David Ling, but he got COVID like the day or 2 days before his flight, so that was
Oh,
disappointing. Um, Deuce came as well from London. Oki came from up north. Well, the guys who were in the country were able to came.
that's awesome. How
There
many
was a
guys
couple
did you have?
guys.
Two teams then?
No, we did four teams again. But what we did is it wasn't as straightforward as how we designated the teams with GB,
Yeah.
Nottingham, Cardiff, and Cardiff, like in the Cardiff one. So what we did is we took the guys that I brought back and the current team, and we just made four mixed teams. So we
Yeah.
mixed and matched,
Did
which
you
was
pick
great.
the
It was
teams?
I had Chris Ellis pick the teams. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I didn't do that.
And the team that won it, there was like a younger fella out there with the team, right? There's somebody's kid, maybe.
Oh, in the image, no, that was the mascot for that team.
Oh, that's the mascot.
That was the mascot. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was the
Okay.
mascot. Yeah. So
So that you guys had fun though.
again, yeah, we had a great time.
Good
Yeah,
crowd.
we had just over 900 people, which wasn't as many as Cardiff. It did look a little bit bare because obviously the arena's 7,000 people. So,
Right.
it would have been nice to have more people, but at the time, we were having a bit of a not great performances, and I get it. Like when your team isn't winning, you don't really want to be around the rink. And then my testimonial was just at a time where it was a bit bare for wins and performances, and that's the way it goes. But obviously, the
Losing is
fans that came,
brutal.
yeah, yeah. But the fans that came really enjoyed it, and that was great. And thanks to them for coming. Um,
Yeah.
Obviously, without them, it would have been sort of nothing. But they had a good time. The boys had a good time. So
Well, it brought back memory for me actually is when I was in Bietigheim, one of my best buddies there, Dirk Robel, shed guy, they had his retirement game scheduled for that November break. So we were to play the game at the end of that week or whatever. So we would just have to be back from our vacations. Well, we're losing. We're in like almost last place. And I think I'm like leading the league in scoring. I had a goal a game. And they told us we could not go on our trips, no matter if you had flights, tickets, hotels. You had to stay there and practice all week. And they bagged us the whole week, like bagged us. And then we were supposed to go have fun for Dirk's big night. And all the guys were so pissed off. And it was not cool, but we had a blast. I was on Dirk's team. We played the current
Was
team.
Dirk on the team? Was
He
Dirk
had
on the
just he
team?
had no he had retired. It was like retiring his jersey, I guess, was the game. But he had been done for a year or two because of his arm. And anyways, I played for his team against the current team, which I was actually playing for, but we got to have beers on the bench and have fun. And the other team, my real team, was they bagged all week and they did not get to have any beers and they were not really smiling and having fun.
No, yeah, I can imagine.
Losing
That sucks.
sucks. Losing
Yeah, that.
sucks.
I mean, it's horrible. I mean, somebody has to lose, but it is miserable when it's you, and
Yeah,
that's the way it goes. It's sport, and you can't win all the time. And if you did, it'd be boring, quite frankly.
you're right.
Hmm.
Yeah, and it's like for the teams that like have it easy, like the kids, you see some age groups, there's a team that just crushes everybody. And it's like, well, what are they learning? Right? Like,
Well, I mean, at that age, yeah. I mean, it's good to come up against opposition that tests you so you can learn. But I think obviously they don't really care when they're that age.
no, winning is fun.
Winning is fun, and it is fun at every age and at every level.
Yeah. And you
Um,
try really hard. And sometimes, like you said, when you're on the losing side, like when I was in Bietigheim, when our budget dropped, it was awful. Like I couldn't even be Wally in the room because you can't act like Wally when your team's not doing well. You have to be Brent. You have to be
yeah.
serious and be a loser.
Well, you still got to try and have fun, but it's way more difficult.
To do it
Way
when
more
like if
difficult.
you
Yeah, when
start
things aren't
if
going
say
well.
I did the squats naked in the locker room, right, for the boys, and the coach walks in and he's like, hey, we just lost 2 games, what are you doing? Right, you win
Yeah,
a couple
exactly. Yeah,
games,
it
you could do that
kind of
stuff.
looks like you don't care, but you do care. Everybody cares. I've had lots of conversations over the years with supporters who are like, "Oh, this guy doesn't look like he cares. That guy doesn't look like he cares." Everybody cares.
Mhm.
You can't be in professional sport and
Not
not
care.
care and not want to win. Sometimes it just doesn't go, and
But there are
it
people
sucks, but
that
that's
know
the way it
how to
goes.
do it, and there are people that don't. I find that there's people that know how to win, and then there's some people that do want to, but they don't actually know how.
Well, yeah, I mean that's maybe a little bit of experience, and maybe also if you're around a group of players who haven't been fortunate enough to win, it's it's more difficult again. If you've
Mhm.
got guys who are, I wouldn't say older guys, but if you've got guys who have won something, if they can draw on their past
Experience, but it's
experiences.
also like for me, it's like addictive, right? Once you've won and you got to have that night with your team and through all the hard work and all the baloney and the bag skates, and then you finally do it and you get that night, there is nothing like it. And then for me, like that I was obsessed with trying to win because I knew how much gosh darn fun it could be.
It's amazing fun. Yeah, absolutely amazing fun. But not many people get the opportunity to win. That's the thing. Think of all the teams there are in this league, the next league, Europe, and there's only, I mean, here we have
Here
the
you get
opportunity to
in the
win
UK,
three
you get
times,
3 winners, right? That's a
three
lot better than
chances.
other
Yeah,
3 times you can win stuff.
yeah.
But most
In
league
other
there's
in
one.
Exactly. So very difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, more poster picks. Who is the ref?
Big Ben.
Big Ben.
Uh,
Who's he?
yeah. So Big Ben is a guy from Nottingham. Great guy. He's basically one of our staff this year who he plays for the Nottingham Lions, but he's one of our staff this year who's basically like player liaison, helps the boys out with sort of
With
getting
whatever.
with whatever they need. Yeah.
You need those
Initially,
guys.
obviously getting into Nottingham, sorting them out, cars. He's a mechanic by trade, so he deals with all of our cars. Awesome guy, would do anything for anybody. So yeah, he's a player liaison and just an
That's
all
good.
round wicked dude who's always
Fun to
around
be
the
around,
room.
and he's just
Yeah,
a
fun to
team
be
guy.
around. He's a
Yeah.
laugh. Yeah, he's a great guy. And I asked him if he would do the refereeing, and he said yes, and that was awesome. And we had Alistair, who wasn't in that picture, is another one of our staff in the office who helped out with the refereeing too. So we had two refs the same. Um, I couldn't get refs like we had in Cardiff because we played on a Sunday night or Sunday afternoon. The game was this year, so the refs were refing doing their job. But Big Ben and Alistair did a great job, and they had fun, and everybody else had fun. So
That's awesome. So then who was the guy you sent that's a lefty that was wearing senator pants? Do you know who that is?
that I think that is Lepi, Guillaume Lepine. I
Okay,
will
I don't
just
know
check
him.
now.
Yeah, I didn't know
Uh,
him, and I didn't know the other guy there that looked like he had nice flow, good hockey hair. And
that is Alex Dubois, our goalie from this year. He played in goal for a bit and then went out as an outskater.
really good hockey hair on that kid, eh?
Yeah, yeah, he does. He loves
Mhm.
his hair too.
Well, you can tell
Yeah,
there's he
that's
takes some care to that. Doesn't
oh
look
yeah.
that nice unless you care about it.
That's yeah, that is Leppy in the Ottawa shorts.
Okay.
Then Doobie, you got Clarky, you got the team picture, you got me and Nairi, you got the photo of the winning team, myself, Big Ben, and then the images of
Yeah, you just
the
went
logo
through all my
below.
notes just like that. I was
Oh,
gonna,
sorry, mate.
yeah, whatever. You Clarky was one of the guys that you brought out of retirement for the big match, so he is a
Yeah,
legend, eh?
he has got his shirt hung from the rafters. Didn't look like he'd been a day off the ice, still snapping the puck around,
Well, when he
still in
retired, I
great shape.
remember he was still a great player, right?
He retired, I think, a little bit too early. I wouldn't say, well, for me, he was still good enough and he was still in great shape and he was still doing all the things that he did years before. So
Yeah,
he retired when he felt it was right for him and his family. But he could have still played. He could probably still play
definitely.
now, no
Yeah,
doubt.
yeah, absolutely. Did I hear he has a kid that plays now or something? Is that true?
Morgan plays in Guildford, and he's on a two-way with Guildford, and I forget which team in the league below. He played in Nottingham last year, but didn't get a ton of ice, so he moved to Guildford, and he signed like a two-way deal with the team in the league below. So
It's weird when
that's good for him.
the kids of guys I played against are like now coming up in hockey, right? It can make you feel
Well,
old.
when I signed in Nottingham, Morgan was a baby.
Yeah. Well, you played on two teams for 10 years, man.
Mm, I know. I know.
Have you ever added up how many games played you have?
No, but I know roughly because Chris Ellis and the team did something last year for me. I played my 1,000th regular season game last year, I believe. So
So
I'm
you
just
didn't get
over a
like
thousand
big
game.
prizes and nice presents like Spit and Chicklets guys would in the show. You didn't get like a gold stick or anything.
I didn't get a gold stick, but I did get a nice I
Nice handshake
uh
and a pat on the ass.
no, I got an I watch off the team, off Neil Black and the
Oh,
organization. So
that's
that was really
cool.
nice. Yeah, yeah, that's
That
cool.
is nice. Yeah. So 1,000 games regular season you've played, eh? That's a lot.
Mm.
Mm. It's a lot of
Yeah, it's a
mucking it
lot.
up in front of the net.
Yeah, it's a lot of time in front of the net. Yeah, it's a
I
lot
like
of
that
time in front
shirt
of the
you
net.
made there with your stat line on the back.
Yeah,
Every
actually,
year, the goals, assists, everything.
yeah, Kyla did that for me, who is the sort of general manager of the Ice Locker in Nottingham. She said, "Look, I'd like to do this for your testimonial. Is it okay?" I said, "Yeah, of course." And it's fab. It's lovely. So yeah, this is pretty cool too.
Well, for my exciting news then is Lee Freeman, my poster maker guy, who has been running amok for 250 episodes now. But I sent him Colby and Zoe's hockey stance, inspired by Jesper Orval from Manchester Storm. But he took my kids' hockey stances and made like the silhouette of them
Silhouette.
black.
Mm-hmm.
And then it says Shed Guy and Shed Gal. So the Shed Guy and Shed Gal logos that are going to be coming for, let's say, shirts or hats, that's actually my kids'
That's
silhouettes,
cool.
right?
That's sick.
That
Yeah,
is
it's sick.
sick. I can't wait to actually like have a hat with like Shed Guy or Shed Gal with my kids on it. Good
Yeah,
gosh.
it's cool.
Mm-hmm. That is cool. How did you come up with your logo for the Panther testimonial? Because it was the Panther with the 8 in the mouth.
Yeah, pretty sick logo actually.
Yes, it was.
Of course, I asked Stu Bob, who's sick tattoo artist,
Oh
to
yeah.
come up with some designs, and he came up with multiple, but this one we loved, and we said, yeah, let's do it. And it's not exactly the same as the Nottingham Panthers logo, but I said, look, if you can try and, because essentially it is about Nottingham, if you can try and make um make it, Nottingham logo ish,
Yeah, but
without
not the
copying
same.
the logo. Yeah,
Yeah.
so well, it's a pretty cool logo to be honest.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, and getting to
Yeah,
make stuff like that and then seeing people wear it,
yeah.
it's like, so my one of the things that almost made my heart pop the other day, and I never even said anything to the guy, I just kind of had my own little moment, was we were standing outside the rink, all the dads, and the dad's background of his phone flashed, and it was his daughter in her two ales and hockey tail shirt that I just gave the
Cool.
girls, and that was his screensaver, was the right after I gave the shirts to the girls, the biggest smile on his daughter, and that's his now background, and it's from me giving them the two ale shirts. I thought that was really neat.
That's sick. Yeah, sick. It's cool. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, so anywho, what is your favorite chocolate bar?
Galaxy.
Galaxy. I thought I saw something
Yeah.
about that because I've never had fun in Nottingham other than the playoff final weekend, and we didn't win, which I still had fun because I never played. Um, but I didn't know if the Panther fans have fun. I don't know if they really listen to the shed, but you like Galaxies?
You love galaxies.
And winning's fun, and we'd only throw those on the ice if the Panthers win, right?
Oh yeah, we could start throwing galaxies on. I'm sure
What's a
that'd be nice.
Galaxy?
I think yeah, it's the brand of a chocolate bar. They do multiple different styles, but basically the one I like, well, I like them all, but just plain chocolate, Galaxy chocolate is
It's
delicious.
just chocolate.
Yeah, there's actually, well, I got about 10 or 12 bars in the drawer over there, which have been given to me for birthday, Christmas presents from the fans of Nottingham.
Because they
So
know you like it. Well, folks, you
yeah,
don't have to wait
it's
for his
cool.
birthday. You just have to wait for wins. And then you just chuck it on the ice. You can try and hit him, it won't hurt him, right?
It won't hurt me.
No. So if
Be
you want to chuck
delicious until it
galaxies
is.
on the ice in Nottingham after wins, folks, we will know where it started, right, Matt?
Yeah, you will.
Fun is fun, folks, and winning is fun, right? Who do you guys play next? Do you know?
On the road tomorrow in Glasgow, and then we're
Hmm,
back home on Saturday against Belfast. So Sunday we have off.
nice. So
So
you're playing
it's a
Dicko tomorrow.
yeah, Stevie,
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Dixon,
Great
yeah,
guy.
Dickie boy, great
Yeah.
guy. Difficult game, obviously up in Glasgow. We got a bit of a travel day, and
The
I know
roughing
they're
will
towards
suck.
the bottom. Can't say anything.
Yeah, don't say anything.
Um,
I can
but
say it. It's my shed.
you
The
can,
refs
you
are a
can, you
joke in
can.
Scotland. Just kidding,
So
guys. Not really.
yeah,
Right.
they're a difficult team to play. They're a good team. It's they got good players, and it's crazy that they're, where they are down in the league. But I mean, somebody has to be there, I guess.
Mhm.
But it ain't going to be easy. And then obviously we got the bus ride back, and a very very good Belfast team coming in
Yeah.
Saturday evening. So we got our work cut out this
That is
weekend.
one
That's for
thing
sure.
about that league that is very difficult and different, is the Friday on the
The
road
back to back.
or at home, and then you're traveling and playing the next day. Is like Germany was a home game and a road game each weekend. One was at home and one was on the road, and it was Friday, Sunday. So you always had a little short practice on the Saturday. And like it was, you would travel there the day of the game, you'd play, and you'd come home. We never stayed in a hotel the whole time I lived in Germany.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest, because with the back to backs, you don't practice as obviously that Saturday practice, you have to throw that Saturday practice in. Um, games are fun. I would prefer it if we played Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, or Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. I'd love it if we played 72 games or 82 games in a regular season. To be way better.
I would much rather
Less
play
practice,
games than practice
yeah,
too, for
less
sure.
less practices, more games. That's what we want.
Yeah, like I think three a weekday game and then two on the weekend is a healthy amount. And then as long as the coach gets it and doesn't make you practice too hard, it would be living, right?
Yeah, it'd be sick. Yeah, if we played Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, or Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, it'd be sick.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And
Mhm.
then you'd be done Saturday night. Team could go out, run amok, have fun, and then you
Yeah,
get Sunday off, right?
Sunday to have a nice Sunday roast.
Mm-hmm. Sunday roast. Those are good. So have last time we chatted actually in on this was in Betty, your coolest camper van in the league,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
So have you gone
yeah,
anywhere in
yeah,
Betty lately?
Not lately. We stayed in it Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. No, we stayed in it Christmas 23rd and Christmas Eve when we come back to Nottingham on the 25th. So we stayed in it then. We have been out in it and we have gone away earlier on in the season, but it's been in the garage having a few minor repairs done to it too. I'm actually going to be using it this weekend to go back to Cardiff after the game Saturday. So I'll stay in it this weekend, but
It
especially
is
when the
so
season
cool,
gets
man.
done,
I like
sick.
people don't get it. You could go anywhere and have a lovely stay in your van. You have a
Perfect.
TV, a shower, like you had
Kitchen,
a kitchen, you
cooker.
had a stove,
Yeah, we got a cooker, we got a sink, we got a shower, we got a loo, we got a bed.
and you did all
We
that
got,
yourself, or you did
we
that
got
during the whatever it was called with Jono, right?
That's right. Yeah, the Elite Series thing there, the COVID season. Yeah, with Jonna. Most of it with Jonna. Um, some of it with Nairi when she was around during the Elite Series, or before. Like me and Nairi had to do the horrible bit, which is stripping her all down. That was horrible.
Wow, that you have
Yeah.
that.
So
That is so neat.
yeah, it's sick. It's really cool. We love it.
Oh yeah, it's like yeah, it'd be so cool to have something like that even for this weekend for the hockey tournament. It's like
It'd be perfect for
when
you,
the
wouldn't it?
team's paying whatever we're paying to stay in that hotel, you could just go out to the parking lot, have a great weekend.
Last summer, I think it was last summer. Yeah, last summer, Jonesy got married in Chepstow somewhere, and
We got a
Nairi and
Chepstow
I,
over here too. Sorry, just yeah,
yeah.
just right around the
So
corner.
Jonesy's wedding was at like this manor house with lovely grounds, and it only had maybe let's call it 5 rooms for people to stay. So it was the bride and groom, maybe the parents and the wedding party were
Yeah,
staying there, say, and everybody else was in hotels around, wherever it was. Larry and I drove up 40 minutes before the wedding started, parked in the car park, got dressed into our wedding suits and Larry's dress. We had a glass of champagne from the fridge with Piggins, walked across the car park, did the wedding, and at 1 o'clock in the morning, we walked back across the car park, went to bed. It was great.
perfect. didn't pay for anything. No hotel,
Yeah,
nothing. That's just
yeah,
fantastic.
great.
That's living.
Yeah, amazing. Amazing.
But
Yeah.
seriously, that I wish I had one because that is really neat. So do you
Yeah,
have any
sick.
off-season plans?
Um, I'm not a big planner ahead of time,
Me
so
neither. I'm a day-to-day type of a
yeah,
guy.
yeah, day to day. So we will we'll have a nice holiday somewhere in the summer. Hopefully, get away in the van as much as we can. But and I don't really like planning holidays. I know that sounds boring, but I don't know. I just don't like it. So I leave that to Nairi. So Nairi will have some plans up the sleeve, no doubt, and we'll be doing something cool. Hopefully on a beach somewhere.
Yeah.
But actual locations, I don't know. There's so many cool places we still got to go and see. So
Okay. So let's see here. What else do I got? Did you make it to Chippy Lane the weekend of your testimonial?
yeah, of course,
Mhm.
yeah,
What would you have ordered?
absolutely. Do you know what? I don't know. I don't know what I ordered. Maybe chips, cheese, and gravy, or chips, cheese, and curry sauce. But we had to.
Chip, cheese, and curry sauce? You'd do that, eh?
Yeah, yeah, it's delicious. Yeah. Yeah, I think by the time we got to Chippy Lane, there was a couple of people who needed
They were
a
tired.
helping hand getting
they,
home.
they
Yeah,
were pretty
yeah,
tired. There's a couple
they were
tired
tired. Yeah,
guys.
yeah. So
You know
yeah,
what?
so
Like
we
I said on here before, though, is like when you get all of us back together, and for me, like I didn't even know the Nottingham guys, other than mucking it up against them, the GB guys, and like no shed guys, and when you invited those people and you get having fun and at Heidi's or whatever. And like hockey guys can all get along, can't they?
Oh, they do, yeah. And 99% of the guys get along. And when you have hockey's such a small world. You will know somebody in common for sure, and you have so much in common to talk about anyway. And you just have a great time, a few beers, and then you're off.
Well, I'd like to say thank you again for bringing me over because it's a
Oh,
memory
no
I'll have
problem.
forever
It's
now.
my pleasure. It was great fun.
It was an exhausting weekend, though.
Uh,
But I can't wait to come back now for Batchies. So, folks, it's happening May 27th, right?
May 27th, Patchy. Is
And
that
I
a
better,
Saturday?
I think, yes. Yeah. I'm going to try and do the same routine as last time.
I went. Yeah. Flying Thursday.
Fly in for
Yep.
Thursday, run amok till Sunday,
Sunday. Get
dry
out of
out,
there.
and then head home Monday. Can't wait. But let's see here. Yeah. What we were just talking about, how hockey guys all have something in common, though, is basically how I do this and how I could talk to people, right? It's,
Yeah, of course.
we all
Well,
have
yeah.
stuff in common. And I just love that we're doing this now because we went years without chatting. Now I could talk to you whenever we feel like it, right?
But it's just the
I
thing,
guess we
like,
always could. We just
yeah,
didn't.
we always could, we just didn't. But the thing is it's so difficult. Like, people are so busy. My school friends, for example, from Cardiff, I could not speak to them for 6 months or 8 months and 12 months, and then you come back in the summer and you put a message in the group, boys, anybody fancy a beer? And it's all, anybody fancy going for dinner? And it's like we hadn't
You're
missed
right
a beat,
back.
But
Mm-hmm.
it's impossible if you wanted to chat to everybody you met over the years and your school friends and family on a regular basis, you wouldn't be able to do anything else apart from be on the phone. It's just impossible. So
Oh, you're no, it's true. And it's interesting for me now with this is geez, like last night, I bet you I had just yesterday probably 6 to 7 recommendations or people asking me to come on themselves. And it's like, geez, like like I'm a parent first and then an employee, and then I'm also a hockey coach and a hockey parent. And then I try to slip these in when I can. It's
and then
like,
you try and do these.
yeah, and it's like
Yes.
I want to do more, but like I literally how
Where'd you
many
find the time to?
right. And I do the best I can, and because I this is what I want to do for fun. This is what I like doing, and this is my me time. And like I will try and get everybody on that wants to come on, folks.
Yeah. Well, 250. Think about it. This has been an hour, and it feels like we've been chatting 5 minutes.
I know. And it's
It's
like your
difficult to
fifth
do
time
these
on. And then
over and over.
there's
Yeah,
other people,
exactly.
right? One guy wrote to me and he said, Brent, I feel like I'm the only person in the world that hasn't been on your podcast. And I was like, I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to. I'm just having
Did you
fun.
get him? Did you get him on?
I said, let's do it then. I said, if you want to. Right?
Have you found the time?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I'm a
Exactly.
day-to-day type of a guy. I got a tournament this
There
weekend.
you go.
We're going to run amok. I'm gonna watch my little fella and all his buddies play like champions this weekend, and I hope they could pull her out. Because I know Colby is very, very competitive, and I wouldn't want to hear about it for the next couple of years if it doesn't go his way, you know. So it's like I was even like when he was a kid playing mini hockey when he's even littler, and like I knew that if I beat him, that like I wouldn't hear about it, and he wouldn't stop playing until so it's like easier to just lose by one. Yeah. Well, anyways, I better get back, I guess, to the real world, right? You probably
Me
got to
too. I
work
gotta,
too.
I gotta,
Yeah.
I gotta get back to the real world too. I
It's
got
nice to come
some
to the
emails
fantasy land though for an hour, right? It's
for an
fun.
hour. Yeah. Back to the emails and the computer now for both of
Mhm.
us.
Yes. But then when it's over, folks, we're going to run amok at the Silver Stick. Can't wait,
Yeah.
right?
So
Go
good
Canucks,
luck with that,
go.
mate.
Yep. And good luck with the Panthers. I hope there's
Cheers, mate.
galaxies all over the ice, but you guys have to go out there and deserve
We
them,
have to
right?
win. Yeah, exactly. We got to win first. So
That's right. And same with the
yeah,
Storm, folks. If you want your chocolate, you got to win. Same with the Devils now. There's going to be chocolate, but you got to earn it, right? And this
exactly.
has been another episode of Zero Ales and Hockey Tales with Mizey and Wally.